Hello, sumo fans. I hope this is working now. We're going to find out in a second. Okay, looks like it's working. My apologies. I had my computer redone about a month ago, and I haven't tried to go live since and forgot I had a whole bunch of things I had to do. So, hopefully, everything is all set. And we can get into the day's events. I'm kind of talking to see if anybody shows up to chat, so you can tell me if this is working. Okay, monster's here, which means it must be working. You can hear me all right and everything? This is one of the craziest basho I've seen. If one of the underdogs won, I think it could be even crazier than Tokushoryo's Yusho. We are primed and ready, for sure, for another underdog, some crazy story. But we are also primed for, one of the top guys just getting themselves right back in this. So we're going to go over the day's events, tomorrow's events, and, start speculating like crazy as to what is going to happen to the end of this basho. Hello, Stargazer, Quackaroo. Yes, there is the man of the tournament, Terunofuji. I knew the retirement was coming the next time he showed up. That turned out to be exactly the case. So, we'll get into that too. The leaderboard right now is a little nuts. I can quickly go over it, and I'll go over it again. So, Kinbozan is 9-1, sole leader. Oho, Chiyoshoma, and Terunofuji at 8-2. And the 7-3s are Hoshoryu, Onosato, and Kirishima. So, we're going to go back to that after I go through my whole spiel. But I like chatting with you guys, and you've already started chatting. Kirishima Yusho. Now, wouldn't that be something? After all the roller coasters he's had, if he were to win this Yusho, that would be just so incredible. Hello, Habob Gob. Yes, the lady sumo thing comes from the Sunday morning sumo show appearance that I did on day 6. I'll get into that a little bit later, too. Hot take, I want to see a no Yokozuna Banzuke. It would be a lot rarer than any chance for Hoshoryu's promotion. You say that, but we may be waiting a long time to get a Yokozuna at this point. But, once again, we'll get into that. So let me go over the review of the day's events, tell you about tomorrow's matchups, and then I'll read everybody's comments, and we'll do our free-for-all like we normally do. Okay, so what matches do I want to chat about first? Okay. Chiyoshoma versus Kirishima. Okay, so Chiyoshoma, right up there with Kinbozan. Look, if Chiyoshoma did beat Kirishima, I'd be like, okay, something weird's going on here. This was predictable. Kirishima should beat Chiyoshoma. Then you had the Abi versus Kinbozan match. I mean, boy, was that anticlimactic. While it's been a wild basho, I would say this was probably the least entertaining day so far. The matches weren't that great. Abi took care of Kinbozan pretty quickly. I'm sure Kinbozan, A, was guns a-blazing, but B, Abi, he just had the confidence of, I'm going to beat this guy. He never wavered in that. We had probably the most interesting match of the day was Ura versus Wakamoto Haru, which has nothing to do with the end result, but man, when is Ura not entertaining? So Wakamoto Haru was convinced he had Ura out, and then Ura does this crazy spin around. Not only does he spin around, but he completely gets away from Wakamoto Haru and just regains positioning. So it's almost like starting all over again without a Tachi-ai. And, they lock up again, and this time Urazuri didn't work out. Wakamoto Haru looked kind of peeved, actually. He's like the last guy you want to try one of those moves on because he can do those kinds of moves too. So he took care of Ura, but we were all extremely entertained. So then we had interesting Onosata versus Gonoyama. So we got, I think it was 3 matas. So we got to get a couple different looks of how this fight can go. And so the first one was just Gonoyama full on just blasting Onosato in the chest. If Gonoyama had done that to Hoshoryu or Terunofuji or maybe even Kotozakura, he probably would have gotten pounded into the ground the very next time because they would have been so angry by how hard of a push in that mata. But it was Onosato, and he seems like a chill guy. Like, yeah, that's okay. We'll do it again. So when they go to do it again, Onosato shows us a henka. And I was really glad that second one was a mata, because that would have stunk. And then finally in the third one, Onosato's, he's got it under control. He's like, I've seen this guy twice now. I know what I'm doing. And he takes care of business, and Gonoyama is finished. The funny part about it is Onosato Gonoyama, like face first on the ground, Matador. He's learned a lot. He's learned a lot on, if people can beat him that way, he's going to do that to other people. So he just gave Gonoyama a taste of the bitter pill that he's taken many times. The Oho versus Tamawashi match. I mean, Tamawashi is Mr. Iron Man, the immortal one. However, he is 40 years old, and Oho is a stud. And when Oho is on, which he seems to be for this tournament, he just simply went forward, used his power. Tamawashi was done for. The Hoshoryu Daisho match, I was kind of hoping would be a little bit more intense, but then again, Hoshoryu really needs to take it down a notch since he's had some bad disappointments right here at the end. He was very patient. He waited for the belt. He did not get goaded into a slap fest, which was good for him. So he wins. And once again, we'll go over what that makes the Yusho picture, which is Kinbozan at 9-1. Very disappointing loss today. We'll see if he regroups tomorrow. The 8-2s are Oho, Chiyoshoma, also disappointing loss for him today. Terunofuji with the henka. Interesting move. Considering that we've only seen him once in the top division, so we really don't know much about his sumo except for the explosive tachi-ai. So we're starting to see what other things he is capable and willing to do, and the henka is not out of his wheelhouse. And our 7-3s are the three guys that you would expect to see in this race. Hoshoryu, who actually, the 7-3 is quite a disappointment for him. Onosato, where it's actually the opposite. He's actually coming back to life. And Kirishima, who also is coming back to life. Quick note on someone not involved in the playoff picture. I mean, there's so much to talk about. You guys can just bring it up in the chat if I forget to talk about something. But Kotozakura's match against Hiraomi today was actually very encouraging. I had surmised earlier on that maybe Kotozakura's knee is really toast, and that's the reason why, his losses in the beginning, just terrible losses that didn't even look like Kotozakura sumo. Like, you can understand maybe being a little nervous or jittery, maybe a slip, this, that, and the other thing. But he was just getting pushed out and wasn't offering any resistance. Today, angry Kotozakura showed up, and he just, mauled Hiraomi. So, encouraging for him. I think he's 3-6 right now. So, right now, he just has to try to salvage this tournament. This is not a surprise because it is really hard to go on a Yokozuna run. Ask Takekeisho. And that's what it is. Not surprised this has happened to him. Hoshoryu, we're going to talk about him. I think the Yokozuna opportunity is dead in the water, but what can happen is preserving it for the next time. So, let's go over our matches for tomorrow, then we can go nuts on all the different things to talk about. Oho versus Onokatsu. Now, I get it. Onokatsu is 6-4, but man, this just seems like a lame matchup when Oho is second in the lead here. It's like, you're going to throw him Onokatsu? I'm not feeling it. You guys can explain to me why this is a legit match. Maybe it is. I'm just not feeling it, and I'm not understanding it. We are going to get a replay of Abi versus Ichi Yamamoto. Not only am I thrilled, I imagine John is thrilled. JJ will also be thrilled. JJ, this match is for you. Then we have Terunofuji versus Daisho. Now, today's Hoshoryu Daisho match was not so great. I'm hoping Terunofuji and Daisho is going to be awesome because Daisho usually bounces back after a loss and he gets a little extra aggressive, and I'd love to see aggressive Daisho versus Terunofuji. Like, let's see power on power. I don't think Terunofuji would dare Henka 2 days in a row also, because that's just going to kill his image. So I think we're going to get a straight on mano-a-mano slapfest power-a-thon, and I'm here for that. And then we have Kotozakura versus Wakataka Kage. Wakataka Kage's tournament's not that great either. Only slightly better than Kotozakura's. So this is a battle of the guys trying to salvage their Yushos, or their Bashos. Then we have Kinbozan versus Onosato. That's going to be a wild match. If it goes well, I mean, once again, Kinbozan today disappointed me. But if Kinbozan and Onosato really go at each other, this could be a fascinating match. I'm hoping this one lasts a little bit. It's an opportunity for Onosato to get his Ozeki pride back. An opportunity to be like, sorry, guy, you're just not high enough rank to be battling me. And put Kinbozan in his place. Kinbozan has the advantage of the fact that he is the sole leader, so he can afford to lose tomorrow, although, definitely going to kill his chances to win the whole thing, I think. I think his tournament rests on tomorrow's match. And if he beats Onosato, then momentum goes in his favor as well. And then we have Chiyoshoma versus Hoshoryu. Now, I never thought I would see Hoshoryu and Chiyoshoma fighting, which is a testament to Chiyoshoma's tournament. Unless Hoshoryu, the problem is Hoshoryu loses to people he shouldn't. So tomorrow's match should be a cakewalk. But you have the fact that Chiyoshoma's performing way better than normal. And Hoshoryu's in a bad place right now. Things are not going the way he had hoped. So something weird could happen in the match tomorrow. But we could also see like Chiyoshoma Henka and Hoshoryu catch the Henka. We could see something very cool. But I'm nervous all the way through because I wanted something different for Hoshoryu. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be as biased as I want on my own show. Okay. So I'm going to get to comments in a second. First, I just want to throw out there, Terunofuji retired on day, let's take a look. Can't remember if it was day 3 or day 4 now. Does it even tell us anymore? It's so sad. Like, once they retire, all their history disappears, like, immediately. I'm having flashbacks of Takekeisho. I can't handle it. Okay. Matches and results. 3. Okay, it was day 4 then? Day 4? Nope, day 4 was when Terunofuji lost to his nemesis Tobizaru. I really hope Mitch shows up so we can have a chat about that. Yep, Gonoyama with the Fusen. Intai for Terunofuji. Let's go back to Terunofuji while we still can. He will disappear from this site as soon as this tournament is over. So, not unexpected at all. Completely expected it. Terunofuji just couldn't do it anymore. And as soon as Kotozakura looked like this was done for him, that's it. Like, Kotozakura's not going to get it. Outside chance for Hoshoryu. Terunofuji's hurting. He's not healthy with the diabetes. Why prolong this any further? I think the real nail in the coffin was losing to Tobizaru. I think he was like, yep, that's it. I'm done. Tobizaru, yeah, can't do it. I'm out of the sport. No, but in truth, I heard in his press conference or one of his interviews that he had decided that the next loss, that was it. He was going to retire. So if he somehow pulled off a miracle and just won out, then great. But he was fully prepared to retire with the very next loss that he got, which happened to be Tobizaru, and I just find that hilarious. That's the perfect person for Terunofuji to lose to end his career. I don't know if Mitch would agree, but I just find it poetic. We will definitely talk more about Terunofuji's legacy and everything else when we do the recap show. But for now, we say farewell. Maybe there'll be a fun live stream where we look at Terunofuji clips or something like we did with Takikeisho. Personally, I think he's had one of the best comebacks in sports history. I think he is a Dai Yokozuna. I think he's great. There are people out there who have very negative things to say about him and say that he wasn't that great. This is something definitely to debate among ourselves, but I think you're crazy if you think Terunofuji is not great. Very few people, if any, could do what he did. With the circumstances he had, with the efforts he needed to make, he made the absolute best of a horrible situation, and no one could beat him for so long. With as talented and as tough as they all were, no one could beat him. So I don't want to hear none of that. But I will hear it if you put it in the comment section and you want to battle with me. Great. It's great for the algorithm. Okay. I'm getting back to the comments, and I'm sure you guys will be commenting on this stuff. Hoshiryu or Onosato 12-3 Yusho so we can get a Yokozuna Banzuke and a chance at Yokozuna next time. Well, I will say this. It's definitely looking to be a 12-3. I hope we don't get an 11-4. Those are rares. I do not see Oho, Chiyoshoma, or Terunofuji winning out. I think that's impossible. Same with Kinbozan. You never know. Kinbozan could just lose one more time, but I seriously doubt that. So we're looking at a 12-3. The question about Hoshiryu is he defeated? Is he mentally defeated right now? Because he went from just being sort of under the radar because all eyes were on Kotozakura to immediately going into the forefront because Terunofuji retired and Kotozakura's Yokozuna run was done. Now, all of a sudden, he had immense pressure put on him, and he did not live up to it. Unfortunately, Shodai, who has killed many a guy's tournament, was too much for him. He loses to a guy he shouldn't lose to. I don't have any issues with the Atami Fuji match. Some people are really getting on Hoshiryu for that. Granted, if you want to be Yokozuna, you got to beat everybody. But that match, I just think he got caught. What are you going to do? But Shodai, you got to beat Shodai. So Hoshiryu would have to win out to win the Yusho. But if he were to, he preserves the Yokozuna opportunity. It will make it even harder to try to win again. But that's better than having to win 2 Yusho again and start from scratch. Onosato might be looking to be the guy who takes this whole thing, which I believe that was John who called it. He has all the momentum in his favor now. He went from just not really knowing what to do, kind of losing his way, losing his sumo sense, getting beat in ways he shouldn't get beat, to coming back and showing what he's got. Kirishima could also take this thing. The momentum's on Kirishima's side. So, we're talking about this on Sunday Morning Sumo Show. The first week does not tell you anything about who's going to win this thing. You think you have it figured out, and you think you know who's eliminated and who's going to run away with it, and it almost never turns out that way. Not anymore. Long gone are the days of Hakuho and Kakuryu winning on Zen shows and 14-1s. Like, you can almost guarantee that, these U shows are going to be 12-3s or 13-2s. So this is anybody's ball game right now. Even the 6-4s have an outside chance if everything starts to fall apart. Chiyo versus Kiri was disappointing. Same with Kinbozan versus Abe. Yeah, that's why I didn't really spend much time analyzing any of these matches. I found the whole day to be a little anticlimactic. Short matches, weird matches, Henka's deflections, 10-second matches. This is not a surprise, though. I mean, Chiyo Shomo is fighting way out of his depth, and so is Kinbozan. Kinbozan, I think, has a little bit more of a shot in that he's young and fresh and riding a high, but Chiyoshoma's a veteran, and he's relying on his veteran ways, and I think he's riding the high of getting that surgery and feeling a lot better, but now he's going into week 2, and I think the attrition is going to be a factor. I think he's going to start wearing out. I expect him to get tired and maybe lose the next couple matches, but I'd be happy if he surprised me. It's been all over the place. Some great days, but also some snoozers. Yeah, I think that's pretty common. But of course, it's a wild tournament because all the things that could have happened are pretty much already eliminated. Like the Yokozuna runs and Terunofuji taking over the whole thing. Like, we said it in the preview show. It's going to be a heartbreaker for at least one person, and now maybe multiple people. Best match so far was either Kinbozan versus Terunofuji or Ura versus Wakamoto Haru today. Yeah, both very exciting back and forth matches. I think the best is still to come, though. That Ura fight was crazy. Yes, that Ura fight was crazy, but not the craziest fight I've seen from him. He literally can do anything. And that is why he is so great. That moment when Ura threw his hands up. Yeah, Ura's like, all right, got it. We're gonna turn this into a boxing match. Even the English commentator, I think it was Ross Mihara, was like, Ura looks like he's gonna punch him. Looked like he was ready to box. You forgot he was a sumo wrestler for a second there. Ono Sato has won so many matches moving backwards, the haters are going to get even louder. You know, Ono Sato is ripe for getting detractors because he doesn't have a really flashy style. He seems kind of nice. That's the best way I can put it. Like, he doesn't have the angry face. It's not that he's nice, but he doesn't have the angry face. So you don't see the passion from him that probably is there. So it's very easy to be like, oh, he won again. All he does is one thing. Oh, he's just a big guy who wins. But there's more to it than that. The Hankamata was hilarious from Ono Sato. I enjoyed the Hankamata. I was like, whoa, look at that. The big man can move. All the crazy stuff in this tournament, at least Gonoyama's back to normal. It is nice to see Gonoyama back to normal. It's nice to see Kinbozan back to normal. Some guys are having some pretty good tournaments because they don't have all this pressure that the top guys have. They can just bring their A game and see what happens. Speaking of learned a lot, I can't believe what I'm seeing from Shishi this past show. I literally thought the same thing today. I'm like, what happened to Shishi? How is he winning all of it? Like, did he watch tape from his Makauchi debut and say, wow, I look kind of silly? Or did he just get so much punishment in the top division that Juryo is easy now? This is going to be fascinating. Shishi is a fascinating specimen of a sumo wrestler. Tamawashi losing steam, sadly. 4 straight losses. Well, yeah, Tamawashi is 40 years old. So while he may be the immortal one and amazing and everything else, the thing about getting older is you just get tired. These young guys just run circles around you. So expect that every tournament he's in. I don't even know how many we'll get. Like, he could go for another 10 years or he could suddenly retire in March and we'd be shocked. Even though we shouldn't be shocked because he's 40. He's definitely coming up, and I think he'll stick around this time. Maybe the guy isn't a slow learner after all. He was just lazy. Well, maybe that's it. Maybe he's an excellent learner, and that's how he's gotten to where he is. But he's has a hard time committing. What I noticed was he was too upright in every single one of his matches. All of it, even the most like lower ranked guys, their knees were far more bent than his, and that could be a laziness. That could be, a bad habit. It could be maybe his knees hurt. I don't know. He's a lot older than I thought he was. So there's some reason for his uprightness, and maybe he's learned to correct it. Yeah, Kirishima bouncing back with 7 straight wins. Never sleep on Kirishima. I mean, he went on a Yokozuna run. It ended in disaster, but he was good enough to go on a Yokozuna run. He has not given up. He certainly is fighting for his sumo life. He's watching his peers leapfrog him. He's got a lot of spirit, and he's got a great coach in, it's Kakadu, but I can never remember what his new name is. It starts with an O. The O names are hard to remember. I'm sure by the time I catch up with comments, someone will tell me. All but one of Ichi Yamamoto's losses have been Henka's. I find that somewhat crazy because it's like, you think Ichi Yamamoto would be wise to the Henka, but he's just so dedicated to slapping forward that he can't stop himself. It is hilarious, Bob. I think Kotozakura is taking this as a learning experience. Yusho hangover and knee and ankle injuries. Half of me is glad he's sticking around. The other doesn't want him to get hurt even more. That's a tough thing. It depends on how bad the injury is. Roga certainly did not help himself by coming back in. He actually hurt himself more, and now he's probably going to be out longer. Definitely going to go back down to Division 2. If Kotozakura's injuries are, mild, maybe it was worth it to get the experience, to fight through, and push yourself to your limits, because you really do need to push yourself to your limits in order to become Yokozuna. And that's what all the Butsukari training is about, is just pushing just a little bit harder when you feel like you're literally going to die, because that's what it might. So this is a good experience for Kotozakura if he is not further injuring himself. And yeah, Yusho hangover, Yokozuna promotion candidate, he had everything going against him. So, it is what it is. Okay. That matchup is lame indeed. I wonder if you're talking about the Onokatsu Oho match. I don't like it. How much of Koto's recovery do you think is cause of changing color? Did he change his Moashi color? I didn't notice. Kotozakura seems done with the hangover the last few days. Can he eke out a Kachikoshi? I think he can eke out a Kachikoshi. I hope you guys aren't experiencing buffering, because it says you're going to experience buffering. I have no idea why. I'm going to zoom down here and see. Oh my goodness, I am way behind in the comments. Whoa, I'm going to have to read these faster. Quickly tell me, guys, are you hearing me still, or are we having buffering issues? You can put it in the comments. Hope I don't have to restart the stream. Redoing computers is such a pain. I don't see any more comments. Let me check. Okay, you hear me and we're not buffering? Okay. Let me zoom back to the comments. I am super behind. Okay. Terunofuji is quickly losing favor with Miya Hanka, and he injured Kitanowaka. Not a great look. Terunofuji, I think, is a little desperate. He had that great coming up in his debut. Then he gets injured, sent all the way down. Coming back, not quite as sharp as he was the first time. I think there's a lot of, he just wants to win. Well, it would kill his image in the West. Of course. Who knows what they think about him in Japan? Okay. I was just checking your up-to-date comments to make sure there's no issues. YouTube is telling me there's an issue, but if there's not, there's not. Koto is going to 5 the other Ozeki all he's got. He still has the pride that he has nothing to lose. Wouldn't be surprised if he takes them out of the Yusha race to get the Kachikoshi. Angry Kotozakura could do that. I really like seeing that other side of him come out. You're right. He has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain at this point. So he might as well mess up his rival's tournament. Bring some pride home. Endo certainly hasn't lost any popularity with the crowd for doing more Henkas than anyone else last year. Well, Endo's been hurt. And yes, as Habab Gob said, Endo's popularity is immortal. He could do anything. No one will ever stop liking him in Japan. I like him too, so I guess I understand it. But, you know, if you're going up against Endo, you should expect the Henka and prepare accordingly. Now it's buffering? Oh, no. I don't want to restart the stream because then I lose all the comments. I don't know if there's anything I can do. I don't know what I don't actually know what I can do. Let's see what you guys are saying. All right, if there's serious issues, start telling me in the comments because I'm just going to keep reading the comments. Unless I hear we got to restart the stream. Okay. Kinbozan is taller than Onosato, but Onosato weighs 5 kilos more. Winbozan. I do like watching Onosato fight guys the same height as him. Very interesting. Hello, Mega Monster. Oh, we have an excellent condition now. Hopefully I fixed whatever the problem was. Sadly, this is how the majority of Yokozuna careers end. A lot of pullouts, then a failure at a good return, then retirement. It's a rough sport. That's all I can say. With the underdogs leading and 2 Ozeki at 6 and 3, it feels like 8 different guys can win. And that is the case. This really is anybody's tournament, but as we see every single tournament, day 10 means nothing. By day 12, we're going to have a very good idea. Like, so much happens in the day 10, 11, 12 that starts to show you what's really going to happen. So these are the crucial days, and luckily these are the days that we live stream, so we can talk about it in real time. And with Teru retired, top man in Isagahama is now... Well, I don't know who you would say is the top guy, because Atami Fuji's not it. I can see Takeru Fuji wants to be. Takada Fuji is, you know, the senior, but he's just mid-card, if that. I think they're going to be fighting it out to see who's going to be the new top guy, and I'm sure Takeru Fuji wants it to be him. Habab Gob says, I vote yes for a Terunofuji tribute live stream. Okay, I will work on that. I'll let you know when I have a date, but I think that's very fitting to have a Terunofuji live stream. I would have done one for Hakuho, but we weren't live streaming then. I wasn't even sure how to do it at the time, so this is our opportunity now. Maybe we'll throw in an Ono show in there. Ono show had the most emotional and amazing retirement press conference. It made me cry. I love Ono show even more than ever, and now I'll never see him in sumo again, which is terrible. Half of his career was during the Hakuho, Hadamafuji, and Kakadu era, and he was still Ozeki. That's the crazy thing about Terunofuji. He had almost 2 different careers. He was Ozeki during the great dynasty of Mongolian Yokozuna. Then he falls all the way out. They all retire, and he makes his way back up and faces Hakuho in Hakuho's final match of his career and takes Yokozuna. Like, seriously, this is the makings of a movie. And of course, a strong Kisano Sato was there as well. Such a shame about Kisano Sato, but yes, Kisano Sato was in that era as well. Only bad thing I can say about Teru is that half of this Yusho are 12 and 3, which is not a Yusho according to Kisano Sato. But he was still the best in the Banzuke for those, so you can't complain. Well, we're going to have a lot of no Yushos because I think 12 and 3 is going to be the game until Hoshoryu and Kotozakura figure it out. And Ono Sato, if he develops, it might be him who figures it out first. Terunofuji is one of the stronger Yokozuna of all time, even with his injuries. Exactly. Could you imagine him without his injuries? He'd be undefeatable. Undefeatable. The man is massive, strong, agile, but, you know, beat his body up. Ono Sato hasn't looked quite as dominant as before. Still, though, Well, this was bound to happen. He got to come in and be a little flashy when people didn't know him as well. Now they figured him out. Now he has to figure out how to get them to unfigure him out by doing new things or just solidifying his defense so that they can't pull the same moves on him. So now he's going to be in the I don't want to say rebuilding phase, but improvement stage. This was bound to happen. I mean, he rose very quickly. A lot of guys, when they do their improvement stage, it's because they've slowly climbed up the Banzuke. Okay, I was lower Maegashira, now I'm in mid Maegashira. Now I get a big jump up to Maegashira 1, I get knocked down a little bit. And then I make a Sanyaku debut, and then I get knocked down a little bit. Onosato didn't do any of that. He just went straight up. So now he has to do his improvements while being Ozeki. Poor him, huh? Onosato hasn't looked as dominant as before, but if he runs the table, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Same with Kirishima. I agree with that. People always count out the top rankers too quick after they take some early losses. That's why I said week 1 just doesn't matter for the overall picture. For the Yusho. It doesn't tell you anything. Well, if it's an 11-4 Yusho, Hoshiryu definitely isn't getting promoted. It is very unlikely he is getting promoted with the 12-3. Like, let's say he pulls it off, he gets the Yusho, gets a 12-3. They're not going to want to give it to him. There's the slight chance they give it to him if he is very dominant in every single match from here on out, but I don't know if he has that in him. But if he gives them a reason, if he really gives them a compelling reason, they will give him the promotion. But right now, that loss to Shodai just took the wind right out of those sails. Hiraomi turning it around. He doesn't look back to his peak form, but I'll take what I can get. He's fighting hard. That man's a scrapper. I think it's been a pretty good Basho still. Not as good as the last Basho, but still a pretty good one. I also agree with that, Monster. It's entertaining for sure, but last Basho was just perfection. Not a good Basho, but definitely an exciting and entertaining one. I could see that angle of it too. It's not the crispest sumo we've ever seen, but we're entertained. We have no idea who's going to win this thing. And Ura, he's the consummate performer. I have successfully converted another friend to sumo. Today, for the first time, he sent me a text about sumo. They grow up so fast. You are a great evangelist for sumo, Habab Gab. I have not had the same level of success that you have. I know, right? He's so much better after only one Basho. I don't get it. I said this on the Sunday Morning Sumo Show as well. If you claim that you're a great predictor of sumo, I don't believe you. This sport is very unpredictable. Did you see Wakai Kari versus Koto Eho? This is where I have trouble. Wakakari had the fastest Tachi I've ever seen, and they both went flying into the 4th or 5th row. I did not see that match. I need to find that. Oh, spam hearts time. Now I understand 15 minutes ago when I saw 1,000,000 hearts. Thank you for that. Wakakari is very impressive. He might get promoted if he gets a 14-win Yusho. I'm all about getting some new blood already. I am not satisfied with what's going on in the Yokozuna race. So I have to enjoy my time with new blood. You should really watch Juryo. Every match looks good this time. You won't regret it. I would love to watch Juryo. It's just very, very hard these days. I am so incredibly busy that I'm lucky to get to Makauchi, and then I have to take notes. So it's something I want to do, but maybe when things get a little less crazy. Awa Nishiki is going up as well. Now that I've seen him myself the past couple of Basho, wow. He's only 20, but he wrestles like a veteran. Yeah, good things coming from Awa Nishiki, but remember, the top division will show what he's really made of. I don't like talking up prospects this much, but it feels like Sanyaku is his destiny. Some guys, you see him and you just know. I mean, Ono Sato was that guy. People may not like his sumo, but you could tell very quickly, like, this guy is not going to be hanging out in Maegashira. Did you see the Takekeisho commentary on the Oyakata channel? Also, Kakuryu is Otowayama Oyakata. Thank you. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that name memorized in my head. It's so hard. I did see it. I haven't watched it. Like, I watched about 30 seconds of it, and I was like, oh, I really want to watch this, and I just haven't had time. Things have been so busy in my life that I'm maybe going to have to wait till after the boss show and just binge on Takikeisho content. Maybe I'll do a live stream. We can all watch Takikeisho content. It's a good way to double up my efforts. He was also on Abema one day and NHK the next day. There's been so much Takikeisho. I'm loving every moment of it. And I think he's lost more weight. He's looking really good. I want Nishiki up in Makuuchi with one more win, so he could do that tonight/tomorrow, whatever time zone you're in. I finally got to the comments of whether or not we're buffering. We can skip all the buffering. Tobizaru is going to put ended Terunofuji's career in his bio when he retires. You better believe it. You better believe it. Any update on the sumo shirts? Okay, I'll give you a quick story on the sumo shirts. So I have a friend who makes shirts, does these online t-shirt stores for various projects that she's involved in. I'm trying to decide which company to go with. It's very, very challenging. But I have the websites. I have to just pick a company, then I can start designing. It really is something in the works, but it takes a little more time than I had hoped. So stay tuned. I'll put it in the community tab. That's the only way you can really communicate with me, or send an email to 42 Opinions. But when it's up and running, it will go in the community tab. Trust me. Tamashoho has had some fun matches, but isn't winning a whole lot. It's all gone close to expectation, but I wanted to mention him because we love Tamashoho in this house. I actually was going to bring Tamashoho up, and then I forgot to write down my notes for him. Tamashoho had a rough start, but he's starting to kind of put it together now. He's getting his sea legs, as they say. He's figuring out, I think he was just overwhelmed when he started, but I think he's starting to get comfortable, and he's figuring some things out, and who knows, he might get his Kachikoshi, and he'll go home to Tamawashi and say, wow, I need some help. These are the things in my game that I didn't know needed so much improvement when I, got up to the division, because you can't know till you're there. You can prepare all you want, but you really got to get hit a couple times for you to understand what is needed. So, rooting for him. He's working hard out there. All love to Tamashoho. John Gunning said Terunofuji was expected to be the next Yokozuna his first time as Ozeki. Little did we know what would happen next. Yeah, I believe it. I mean, I saw a couple of old matches of his before he got sent down, and I was like, wow, if he wasn't hurt, he would have just been Yokozuna then. Literally, the only thing stopping him was injuries, and for a lot of guys, injuries make it so that you never do succeed in the way you can. And Terunofuji found a way to get everything he was supposed to get, just in a really, really long roundabout way. Incredible. Incredible fortitude. Incredible dedication. And it was so cute. He has a little son now, so he can retire and just hang out with his son. This is the right time to give this up. Tamashoho love. I love his hamster Hamu-chan and Kamu-chan. I don't know what that is. This sounds like stuff that I'm out of the loop on. Oh, no. Actually, I think I saw a video. With a hamster. You must be talking about hamsters. See, I'm really behind in all the good videos. So I'm going to be catching up on that. We can only hope the demotion picture is bunk enough to save Tamashoho somehow. Well, we'll have to see. We can talk about that, in the next coming live streams when you like to do your promotions, demotions talk. Koto Shoho lost to Chirana Umi in his bid to take back the title of Mayor of Pound Town. Koto Shoho just looks so lost out there. Like, one minute he's slapping, next minute he's grabbing the belt. And it's great that he can do both, but I don't know if he knows what style he's better at. And he's just going to keep struggling. Tamashoho has to fight Chiranaumi. Chira is 4-6, but he's been fighting much stronger than Tamashoho. I do think Chiranaumi should win that match. Tamashoho is going to have to come up with some magical stuff. Shiden is breaking my heart in Juryo. I didn't predict that. I don't know what's going on with Shiden right now. Demotions are going to be crazy, possibly up to 11 demotions in addition to Terunofuji's spot open. Woo! 3 Kyujo that guaranteed demotion already, and some guys in big trouble. So we have Hokuto Fuji, Roga. Who's the other injury? I forget already. Nabatame has been on a nice win streak too. I did see that. Juryo demotions. Dai Shoho, Bushozan, Daiamami, Shimazu Umi, Dai Seizan. So these guys would be going into Makushita. Juryo promotions. Ryuden, Shishi, Awanishiki, Sadano Umi, Kaio, Asakuryu, Shitakuma, and Waikai Kiri. Gonna be wild. Makauchi demotions. Hokuto Fuji, Kitanawaka. That's right. He got injured against Takeru Fuji. Brutal injury. Ooh. The only bright spot was seeing Taki Keisho help him into the wheelchair. But then I felt sad again. So Hokuto Fuji, Kitanawaka, Roga, Kageyaki, Tamashoho, and Koto Shoho. Midori Fuji and Meisei. Nishiki Fuji and Toki Hayate. Nishiki Fuji is making a comeback. I don't know that he's going to get demoted this time. I didn't bother to do Makushita this time because it was too confusing. I always find it to be too confusing. Oh, Habab Gabs got Makushita. Mitch! We were talking about you, man. We were talking about how Tobizaru ended Terunofuji's career. How do you feel about that? Oh, and Juryo, keep an eye on Tsurugisho and Shimano Umi. They are wrestling horrible and could lose out to steal a demotion slot. Tsurugisho, man. I don't know how he continues on with one leg. Hitoshi maybe already earned promotion. Wakanosho, Kotokuzan, Kusano, Otsuji with another win each. Kazi Kano, Aqua, Miyagi, Ishizaki with 2 more wins each. Now we're getting on Mitch. Mitch, you're so late. Yo, Mitch, Tobizaru. Kitanawaka broke his leg a couple days ago, remember? I thought it was his ankle, but yes, I remember now. It just took me a minute. Nabatame, another win to stay in Juryo, his first Sekitori Kachikoshi. Excellent stuff for Nabatame. I pretty much checked out of the Basho after like day 5, and even that I barely watched before. Oh my goodness. Tobizaru just ruined Mitch's entire tournament. He's not coming back, sadly. Don't forget Hatsuyama Monster. He's not looking too great, and he's out with 2 more losses. See? It's too much. It's hard to keep track of all these guys. I now only refer to Tobizaru as the Kaiju Slayer from now on. Hey, we said it in the preview show once again. I need to clip the things that we said that came to pass. Be wary of Tobizaru, Abi, and Shodai. All the time. Do these guys like suddenly show up for the big matches? Nishiki Fuji needs at least 12 losses at Maegashira 17 to go Juryo. I refuse to be swayed. The Banzuke committee bending over backwards for this guy. I don't think he's going to go down. I want to see. What is his record right now? Yeah, I thought so. 5-5. I mean, he's making a comeback, guys. I don't know. Unless he has a disastrous couple of days, I think he's gonna pull it off in the end. Let's see. I watched the Kintamiyama recaps for the first couple of days, then he got the NHK treatment, and I don't give a rat's you-know-what to look through 2 hours worth of Twitch replays. Hold on a second, Mitch. If I can send you something, I will. I will not speak of it out loud. And you know why. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I've heard broken ankle and or broken fibia in the lower leg for Kita Nowaka. Eesh. I knew the ankle was broken, but I didn't know he broke part of his leg too. Man, Terunofuji is a monster. Something we need to talk about. What happened to Wakamoto Haru? I think he is just, I don't know. It seems mental to me. He looked real frustrated today. He won the match and he still looked frustrated. Something's going on with him. I don't know. Em, are we watching cricket after this or are you going to sleep? I'm going to sleep, unfortunately. It is 10 p.m. for me. We should... I don't know. How long does cricket go on? Like, does it have a season? Is cricket on after sumo? Because I definitely want to watch cricket and have you teach me all kinds of stuff and me say ridiculous. What is this? You said I spin yarn? Fantasy? I can't wait to spin some yarn on cricket. So just tell me, like, what's the schedule? So that I can, like, plan to do it one of these times. Every night, Tobizaru, Abi, and Shodai meet to decide who will win the Yusha. They're pulling the strings. The Yusha runs through them. I wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be shocked at all. I am, like, barely paying attention enough to make ISP picks, and that's about it. Other than that, about that gets shared to Facebook, I haven't watched anything since day 5-ish. No, that's today, Mitch. You got to get on the newsletter, Mitch. That's all I can say. I don't want to be saying too much. I gave you what you need. Toby, Abi, and Shodai are out here like the Legion of Doom. I need to see a picture of them together. Mitch, that is current. But go every day. That's all I'll say. I think things get unlisted. We can play replays. Goofy Cricket can go on for as long as you want. Okay, cool. So how about after sumo ends, because I'm going away this weekend. I have some very, very important business to attend to. How about after sumo ends, we do a Goofy Cricket live stream and you can explain all the craziness. I watched some of it and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? It's like miniature golf mixed with baseball, mixed with soccer. I don't know. And I think it's going to be a blast. I love it. Cricket low-key fire. As a baseball fan, it's equally as good to have on in the background or pay attention to. I don't get it, but I know once I get it, because I love baseball. Oh, I love baseball. I could go to a little league game and be endlessly entertained. I think baseball is my favorite. So I know I can fall in love with cricket once I understand what's going on. Nobody would have bet the Waka Bros are struggling like this. They do this. They do this sometimes, and they seem to struggle together. I have to read the rest of your comments, but I saw Goose's. Miniature golf. I hate you so much, it's unreal. I'm sorry, they have these like little walls. So you're hitting the ball, and it's hitting the little walls, and it reminds me of miniature golf. I'm sorry. But you know me, I just tell crazy fantasy stories about everything I do, so who should listen to me? That's why this podcast is called 42 Opinions, so that I can just like warn everybody, you're not going to get any high quality content from me. You're going to get something in between a conversation and a sprinkling of reality. Cricket is somewhere all around you. See, I know nothing about cricket. I am going to learn. And I'm going to learn about rugby too. I know nothing about rugby. I think there's some other sports in Australia that I know nothing about. Waka Dream is dead. Sumo fans cannot have good things. All right, are we going to turn into doomers tonight? It's true, though. We can't have nice things. I'm a doomer. Someone's supposed to, give me optimism, not encourage me. Oshoma reminds me of a matador. Not lightning quick, but he's very skilled at goading and misdirecting. I have discovered that that's really his thing. That's his style of sumo. I don't know if I like it. I suddenly have gone a little sour on Oshoma. I don't know why. I might change my mind. I love Sumo's Chaotic Kings. I do too. Abi has wronged me so many times. He cost Takekeisho one of his Yokozuna runs. And yet I still love him. Just the energy and the unpredictability and the heel babyface thing that he brings can't be matched. The sumo community out there, like the Underground Railroad, well, we're a very small community, that's for sure. And I've noticed, we're not getting any increase in subscribers. We're not getting many views. I think we're getting shadow banned. I don't know if it's because of the Takekeisho video or something else, but YouTube does that sometimes where, you fall out of favor with them and no one's going to see your channel. So this is the community. This is it. We're not getting anybody new anymore. Cricket can be a 3-hour party or 5 days of grinding battle. Fascinating. So does anything even end? How's the score? See, we can't get into this now. Goose is going to teach me all of this. Baseball was my jam until I had one random coach that I just hated my guts. I had college offers, but it stopped being fun after high school because of that guy. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. Coaches need to chill, man. You don't have to care about rugby. All right. I still want to learn about it, though. But it is American football if it was good and not awful. Wow. Okay. Well, let me just say. Oh, geez. Goose is calling. We'll see what happens here. Do. All right, let's see if you're going to come in. I might have to turn on desktop audio. Hold on. It is on. We're going to have that problem again, Goose. You're killing me here. Hold on. Hello? I quit. Well, Goose is here in theory, but I can't get him to come in. He's probably very angry because we've been through this before. Well, Goose is trying to call in. I don't know if it's going to work because I didn't tell you, but I redid my entire computer. So now things are even more messed up than they were before. So I will attempt to get you in here, but I don't know what I'm doing. Isn't that great? I think it's something to do with desktop audio. I'll mess around with it. In the meantime, as I mess around and click on things, I will read some of these comments as well. Don't worry about rugby. The best sport is AFL. I don't know what AFL is. Takekeisho fans are natural doomers. Join me, Maria. Yeah. Goose is mad. He doesn't understand. We have to plan this so that I can get my settings right because I don't know what they're supposed to be. I know. I'm so sorry. I am. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, desktop audio won't work all of a sudden. I have it here, and it just does not work. It's not moving at all. Oh. starting to move now. Maybe? Okay. Goose says, "Oh, you show, by the way. Who thinks it's going to be an I can't even hear you over Discord, no. I think that's the problem. No, I don't think it's that. I told you I redid this computer, and now all of the settings that I had just do not work. And I don't remember where to go to change them. You don't understand. I have fancy programs on here to do like multi-calls at one time, and they screw stuff up. And things got really screwed up when we tried to do our last multi-call thing, and now nothing works. I'm going to be live streaming again tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. I'm going to figure it out before I do live streams. I'm in settings, man. Okay, keep telling me. I'm going to read the chat. I was trying to read the chat. Goose is not allowing this to happen. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Input, output. What does it say? It says microphone. And output device is my weird program. Anyway. Okay, let's get back to the comments real quick while we're working on this. Let's see. Rugby 10 times more exciting than football. Well, I'll have to see it to believe it. I'm probably just going to check out completely until I get motivated enough to draft a Bonzake. The rope runs are pretty much dead. Nobody making Ozeki anytime soon, and I'm bored with the leaders. Mitch, I'm so sorry that sumo has crushed your spirit. Hopefully March will be better. We don't want to lose you. We don't want to lose you as a sumo fan. You're on the cusp right now of quitting on us. Don't do it. Kitty has an easy rest of the tournament. Yo, Goose, your favorite guy, going to get promoted back to Makauchi. That's probably why you called in. My voice is going to the program, not your headphones. I see. Well, what are we going to do about that? Do. Hello? Oh, that didn't do anything. Do. Hey, I think I hear you now.
Hello.
Hi!
Oh my god.
Do.
How is this always a problem with you?
Because I am not a technology person, okay? Do you guys hear
What do
Goose?
you mean you... We live in the simplest age of technology that has ever existed. It is genuine magic. What do you mean you redid it? What does that mean?
I can't explain it. I just can't. I can't explain it. Well, I can.
Did I have to tell you output? Oh my! All right, look.
Listen.
I'm here to talk about Ura.
Hold on a second. I don't know if they can hear you. I can hear you now, but no one's saying anything in the chat, so we have to find out. Can they hear you?
Fuck. Maria, I want you to know that I love you with my heart.
I don't know. The way you act doesn't seem like it. Okay.
My god, do I have limits, though?
You know, I have limits, too.
Okay, your OBS... You know what? I'm sorry. That was rude of me.
It was rude, but you're a rude person, so it's okay.
We've been through a lot together, and I forget my place sometimes.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. They hear you, so feel free to do.
They hear me? Great.
Do your
Greetings from Kazakhstan. This song goes hard. I hate Maria so much it's unreal. Cricket is not miniature golf. My ancestry is angry at you, but it's okay because you're beautiful. You do good work. You have a community here that I love you, and I want to talk about Ura. Okay,
go for it.
What was that?
Today's match?
Yes. Ura's most recent match against Wakamoto Haru.
Well, you know, it was interesting because Ura kind of had a plan, but it didn't work out. It's like you're going to try to do the crazy Ura head thing on Wakamoto Haru? The dude practically, invented
You
the
mean
thing.
the Zune binary?
The Zoom binary that I've been calling the Ubizori now, or the Urazori now. Yeah.
That works fantastic.
The
10
absolute...
plus years of sumo experience, another 5 years of Greco-Roman. This man has been doing sumo his entire life. He gets hit with the go behind and bump and grind and escapes. I've never seen someone get out of the rear naked choke. And you know what his immediate instincts is? Peekaboo stance.
I know. Like,
in front of God, the referee, and everyone, he threatens an illegal strike and pump fakes a hook to the side of the head.
I don't know exactly.
Actual chaos basho.
Well, when he pulled up the fists, I was looking at the NHK feed, and I think it was Ross Miharu. He's like, and Ura pulls up the fists. What's going to happen here? He was completely shocked. Like, is he going to try to punch him and then the match is over? I don't think he knew what he was going to do. Oh, my goodness.
No, instead we somehow end with another failed Zunbinari.
Right.
Nothing makes sense.
No.
We've actually entered the realm of chaos basho.
Everything about this basho is chaos. And I was saying this when I was with JJ. Week 1 doesn't tell you who's going to win at all. Somebody could go 7-0. It means nothing. Because it's going to be...
Yokozuna retired by Tobizaru. Oho Terunofuji, The Undertaker, for a playoff Yusho. Ozeki's in shambles. They stay picking the corn out of my shit. It is just actual chaos basho. Not like when you see Shodai win with a Yarikiri and go, oh, it's chaos. Actual chaos.
You mean like
Tobizaru retired the Yokozuna.
Well, I'll say this. Chiyo Shoma is going to have to win the whole Yusho because that's the only thing that makes sense now.
Goodness gracious, you're right.
I mean, in Chaos Basho, that's what has to happen.
I'm here to laugh at someone that no one is ready for, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Gonoyama sucks.
Okay, well...
You know what his sixth highest winning Kimarite is?
What's that?
Fusen. In his 2 years of top division, he has 7 Fusen.
He is the luckiest man alive. And the Japanese value luck as a form of... They say that's a form of, strength. So the Japanese would say he's just really good.
Hey, look. I got nothing else. I got a lot else, actually, but I got a show to do tonight. I've got days off. I can be in tomorrow if you want. Peace, love, and sumo. This shit's excellent. You put on a fantastic job here. I'm just not going to watch Shishi matches next month. Is there anything I missed?
No, but you have to watch them because people want the Shishi rant, so keep that in mind.
I will. You see, life is about balance, right? I come in here with a head full of steam, rude as all hell, almost to making you cry, right? And then I have to watch 15 days of Shishi in 2 months.
That is what they call...
It all comes back to me.
Yeah, that's what they call karma, baby. I have to laugh about it. That is how I get my revenge for all of your harsh, cruel comments about me and my sumo commentary.
You spin yarn like no one else, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I have time for you like I have no one else.
I love it because I had no idea what spin yarn meant, and I had to look it up. Remember, I'm American. That is not an American phrase.
I intentionally use it on you. Don't you worry. All right, Maria, you're the best. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm gonna go scream at inanimate things for the next 10 minutes. You have a good time now.
Thank you. You too. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was some banter and some rant to try to take Mitch out of the doldrums and bring him back into sumo love. Yes, Goose is always acting a little sus. Okay, let's see. I'm not going anywhere. I just don't even have the energy to care or even complain. I threw an absolute fit for about an hour after Terunofuji Intai. I've run out of patience with the Ozeki. I understand, Mitch. I've kind of run out of patience as well, but then I realized, if you like sumo, just deal with it. Monster is pleased with the chaos. Hop Gob. Yes, Mitch, given to the hate. May I suggest Kirishima or Meisei as the fuel for your newfound hate towards sumo? Mitch is no shortage of hate for Tobizaru. Hello, Wayne Johnson. I hope you enjoyed our little rant and our special guest, Goose, from the Sunday Morning Sumo Show. Out here just risking it all at this point. Ura's just having a good time. That's all I can say. And we're all having a good time with him. Shodai wins with a 10-5 and a 10-way playoff. Oh my goodness. Please. At this point, everything's shot all to hell, so whatever. Let's just get the craziest outcome we possibly can. The only observation that I even found somewhat amusing was Shima no Umi going 0-10. As much as I'm pleased by that, it annoys me that it would possibly cost Ikisayama a kabu if he winds up effing off. Ooh, wouldn't want that. Gonoyama is simply better at collecting fusen than anyone else. Like I said, the Japanese count luck is a part of your strength. Fusen is a skill issue. Gonoyama just too good. Gonoyama's going to win the whole thing, guys. There you go. Monster was saying what to something I missed. Gonoyama reminds me of the rhino from watching Spider-Man cartoons when I was a kid. Yes, the 1990s Spider-Man. My favorite cartoon. I love the 90s Spider-Man. I've watched it over and over and over and over again. Absolute favorite. No kabu for Kiseyama. Go Shima no Umi go. Poor guy. Did you see the anime man Kisei Stable video? There was an Ikiseyama cameo. Once again, popped up in my feed. Haven't had a chance to watch, but we're going to have a really fun live stream when I just pull all of these suggestions up and we watch it together. Goose says sumo forever. I agree, Goose. Thanks for your brief appearance. I'm glad I actually figured out the program. I can't explain to you why I don't understand the program. It's just not worth it. I like Gonoyama. He has his way. Some opponents have worked him out. Others haven't. I have to like him because of his history with Takakeisho. Just what it is. If you're associated with Takakeisho, unless you're a jerk, you just get it. You just get my seal of approval. Goose is an honorary Ukrainian. We'll have to see what he thinks about that. I hate to say it, but the Kirishima love post on Reddit Sumo made me dislike him slightly less. Hold on 1 second, everybody. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I like Kirishima. I think you need to give him a shot, Hop Bob Gob. Akisayama is borrowing the Izutsu stock from Shima no Umi, who, much to my annoyance, only has it because he's getting giddy with the Izutsu's daughter. Hey, that's like some medieval stuff, man. That's how the world used to work forever and ever. And once again, to remind you of the shirt, I don't like change. That's why I like sumo. Goose acting sus only to single moms. I have no idea what you're talking about, Goose. Onasato only just got Ozeki, so I still have patience with him, but Koto and Hoshoryu inconsistency is frustrating. I agree. Hoshoryu's my favorite, and even I'm feeling pretty... Like, I gave Takakeisho all the flack in the world because I knew how injured he was. I knew he could retire at any moment. I don't know what Hoshoryu's deal is. It's like, come on, man. Gut it out. Gut it out. But for real, if someone was going to go Fusen, it's not like they would have won if they showed up. Well, that's it. If they were already hurt, Gonoyama, in theory, should be able to beat them. Habab Gab. Akisayama and Takakeisho is a dream team I never expected to happen. They look like such good friends. Who would have thought? I have the feeling that Takakeisho is actually a very personable guy and just everybody wants to hang out with him because every interview you see, he is laughing, he is joking, they're trying to get him to laugh. Like, they're literally trying to rile him up and stuff. So, yeah, him and Akisayama have been fun. I can't imagine a guy with a kabu already locked up not immediately leaving as soon as he hits Makushita. Yeah. If he's got his kabu, he should be done. But people stick around for other reasons. I don't know. Oh, the 1960s Spider-Man. I have seen it. I don't like it as much as the 90s one. But it's good. It's good. I find the 1990s Spider-Man to be the best Spider-Man, including all the movies I've seen. But that's a personal preference, I suppose. Okay, guys. You're out of comments. I didn't think that was going to happen. I was like really, really behind. He wanted to be serious because the image of the ideal Rikishi was important to him. Yeah, Taika Keisho did what he was supposed to do, and then as soon as that burden was over, he's being his true self, and he's still 28 years old, so he's young and vibrant and having a good time, and man, he's a cool dude. But that's part of what made Taika Keisho cool. Yeah, I loved the cold, hard, I am Ozeki balanced out with this like laughing with Daisho on the tours and stuff like that. You knew that there was this fun guy in there. He's just going to be a blast for years to come. I wish I had more access to Japanese feeds so that I could see him now that he's not in the ring. Oho has a little bit of set jaw and backwards head tilt that Taika Keisho has. I'll have to look into that. There's too much chaos. Hard to think of specific things to say. I know, we can't really hammer anything down. We will be able to after tomorrow, I bet. I don't think anyone predicted these results. What are your predictions for future shocks? Well, I will say this. John and I threw out there in the preview show that something like this was possible. Because we have seen this before. My shock thing is... The most shocking thing would be if Chiyo Shoma took this whole thing. But I bet you anything it's going to be Kirishima coming out of nowhere and taking it. It's going to be something like that. We get Abi versus Ichi Yamamoto sequel. That's cool. Can't wait for that. Goose is trying to come back in. No, that's okay, Goose, because they're going to try to keep me on here all night, and that is not going to happen. I'm going to go soon. As soon as the comments dry up, that's when I start to say, all right, I'm looking at the clock. Chairman Hakaku in shambles right now. Yeah, everything's not going so well. But now sumo is also going to be in France. So we have England and France. When is sumo coming to America? Come on, guys. There's a lot of American fans, too. Just go to California. It's not that far. It's actually way closer than England or France. Taka Kento on his journey back up to Juryo is the only active guy with the Taka kanji from Takanohana's name. Takanohana said that he has no more influence on sumo anymore and he doesn't mind that. What a sad tale, though. I don't know. I wouldn't be satisfied with that. Maybe everyone is still drunk from New Year's. Maybe. Is it anime talk time? Watch. How do you even pronounce this? Frieren? Beyond Journey's End. It is peak. Oh, what am I watching now? I went back to watch original Hunter x Hunter. I was watching Hunter x Hunter and realized, oh, this is a remake. I don't want to watch a remake. So I had to do crazy stuff to get the old 1999 Hunter x Hunter. So that's what I'm trying to get through right now. And also still trying to get through Gungrave. It's incredibly violent and disturbing. So I can only watch one episode at a time. That's very true. MKG Hakaku might be the only person more fed up and checked out than me. Yeah, you and Hakaku could hang out if we ever get to Japan. Sit down, have some sake, talk about your woes. Onosato will win because then I get what I want, but in a monkey's paw way. Well, John will get what he wants too if Onosato wins. So I guess I got to root for Onosato so John can get a win. Wait, I feel there are some things I should do with the stream. If only Maria would remind us in her professional voice acting voice. You guys, like, some of you guys just really love that weird voice acting stuff that I can do. Yo, OG Hunter x Hunter, it's great, but the remake goes further in the manga. More content make my brain happy. So my plan is to watch the original and then watch the remake. I can't watch the remake before the original. That's not right. So I will watch the remake after. And Goose says, yo, Gungrave. Yes, Gungrave. Gungrave, very well written, but very disturbing. I find myself depressed after almost every episode, so I gotta watch it, and then I just take a little break. I've been watching OG Dragon Ball with my dad. Great show, love it. Could never recommend it to most people because of all the pervy jokes. You know, I've only seen parts of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z is my jam, and I've rewatched Dragon Ball Z 1,000,001 times. I just love Dragon Ball Z. I don't care about all the filler. I'll watch the filler. Namek was awesome. I'm being requested to do the plug. Oh, the plug. I feel like I need to come up with different ways to do the plug. Maybe I'll sing the plug tomorrow. I can't do that tonight because I'm not prepared. But I'll do the plug as requested, especially because it's 10:30, so you have to be real committed to still be listening to me at this point. And I know Goose hates it. And since Goose insulted me, this is for you, Goose. Hi, everybody. If you like sumo and you like opinions, then you need to subscribe to the 42 Opinions Sumo Show. So like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. I feel like insane after I do that. I really do. By the way, Ferrerin has no fan service stuff, completely family friendly, cool, because I don't really like the fan service stuff. I ain't into that. I feel like if Terunofuji gets out of the Joey, he will absolutely go off and might get some confidence back. He's got to get healthy, I think. I really think he needs to get healthy. Maybe he needs to lose a little weight or something. Maybe the joints are flared up. Ferrerin indeed goes crazy. Oh boy, here we go. Hold on. Hello.
Grown ass woman with a life, wife, and kids, and a career doing princess shit for pennies in front of 20 people. I swear to God.
And there ends the rant. I'm glad that he got that off his chest. Tomorrow I sing the plug. That's going to be fun. I really hope Hakaku steps on the dohyo on day 15 to do his speech and just says, I hate this game. I'm going home. My assistant will pass out trophies later. That would be perfect for you, Mitch. Then you would feel the love of sumo again. Dragon Ball is so much different than Dragon Ball Z, but it's great in its own way. Agreed. That's why I haven't watched much of it, because it is a totally different feel. Gotta watch Jackie Chung versus Tien. I'll put that on my list, because I like Tien. It's a shame that he didn't have much in DBZ. I really like Tien. Terunofuji also probably feeling a lot of pressure from Teru's retirement. Guaranteed. Goose is upset about the plug. Ooh, 42 Opinions singing. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'll come up with something, some type of singing for the plug tomorrow. Goose is in shambles, as he deserves. Monster's happy for the plug. August is happy for the plug. I'm glad you guys like the plug. Speaking of Japanese feeds, a lot of streams have been copyrighted midstream. Yep, that's why we don't speak of things. We speak in codes. Sing it to the ringtone music. What's the Discord music? Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Let's go plug song. Yeah, plug song. Hakaku retires out of frustration. Hakaku also retires because of Tobizaru. Well, if I like it, then the rules say you won't like it. Yeah, that's true. You and I are on opposite pages all the time when it comes to anime. Yamcha had the biggest snub from DB to DBZ. Became a meme even. I know, he had like the girl and everything, and then he gets a hand stuck through his chest by an android, and his girl goes with Vegeta, and then he doesn't fight anymore, and he's just like, I'm finding out from watching Dragon Ball that Krillin was always a jobber, even more of a jobber than DBZ. Look, Krillin in the Buu saga is pretty entertaining. He's grown hair, he's got a kid. For context, in case someone isn't paying attention, Hakaku's only 2 Sekitori are hurt and most certainly are getting punted to Juro. Yeah, his stable is decimated. Yep, Hakaku's stable is a big oof. Oh, JJ missed the notification. You missed Goose coming in here twice, causing chaos, being rude. I had to tell him off. Probably never going to speak to him again. Hold on, everyone. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Totari is the best. We've seen quite a few Totaris in this. What are the chances Terunofuji and Kitanowaka are healthy enough for London in October? Not looking good. Hopefully they can bandage themselves up enough to at least stand by Hakaku's side. JJ, everyone's happy to see you here. Sounds about right. That's how you handle him. You have to handle him somehow. He tells me stuff like I'm spitting yarn. I don't even know what that means. I had to look it up. Ay, ay, ay. Yamcha was a meme before a joke before OG Dragon Ball finished. Poor Yamcha. That's all I can say. I'm a Vegeta fan, so sorry, Yamcha. JJ, how do you feel that all but one of Ichi Yamamoto's losses are Henka's? I like fan service too. We are diametrically opposed on anime. We certainly are, Monster. There's got to be one anime that we both like. You didn't make me leave. Sorry, JJ. I'm not Sumo Lady anymore, and now I'm Lady Sumo. Goose wants me to speak to him again. I can't, Goose. You've worn out your welcome. I'm not allowing you back on. I'm holding a grudge. Yamcha was at least better than Krillin in original Dragon Ball. I really should go back. Yo, Monster, if you like fan service, have you seen Fairy Tail? He has not seen Fairy Tail. It means that he's too powerful to be beaten any other way. Hey, JJ, it's Ichi Yamamoto versus Abi tomorrow. That should be pretty exciting. I haven't actually watched a huge number of anime. I'd like to watch more, but I'm more of a video game guy. Yeah, I mean, you get stuck in your patterns. I like both, but I only like a certain type of video game, so I'm more of an anime person. But I can spend hours and hours and hours on those visual novel video games. I'm so resigned to the idea that Tobizaro is going to be Joey mainstay for like the next 20 years, just to spite me. He's probably also going to script everyone else's Ozeki and Yokozuna runs. I'm sorry, Mitch. Your hatred of him is what's caused this. I'm sorry to blame you, but it's true. If you didn't hate him so much, he wouldn't be out there to prove you wrong and messing up our whole deal with Terunofuji and everybody else. Ichi Yamamoto is looking the best he ever has. Yeah, and that was unpredictable. We figured he was way too high up and that he would just be done. And I'm very upset that he got hanked. Come on, man. Come on. Don't let it happen. The superior Hoshi man will win. And who would that be? Are you claiming it's Ichi Yamamoto? Because Abi might just pull out a steel chair and hit Ichi Yamamoto when the Gyoji's not looking. That's just how that goes. Tobizaro gaining belief he can compete. Everyone be warned. Yeah, don't sleep on Tobizaro. Tobizaro gets fueled by Mitch's hate. It's true. It's absolutely true. Tobizaro ending Terunofuji's career is like the ultimate Tobizaro Christmas present. It was such a Tobizaro thing to do. No question about it. Aren't the only wrestlers going to London the Makauchi wrestlers? Are those two even going to win enough to get back by then? No, probably not. which is really heartbreaking, quite frankly. Monkey antics. Did you see him flirting with the geisha when he landed in the crowd? You know, that's so Tobizaru too, because people say he looks like an actor playing a sumo wrestler. So, like, if this was a movie, of course he would flirt with the geisha. JJ, woo, bold claim. I said what I said. Okay. I'm paying extra close attention to the Ichi Yamamoto match. JJ is based. I can only aspire to the level of hate that Mitch has for Toby and my visceral disgust of Kinbozan. Wow, you're having a rough tournament too then. I mean, Kinbozan right up at the top like that. People, that was Goose. Oh, Goose. You know, we started off as such good friends, and then it just fell apart somehow. I don't know. He's broken my heart one too many times. If you watch Dragon Ball, you have to tell me if you like it or not. I will. I will definitely tell you. I know it's like more comical. Dragon Ball Z has its moments, though. Some of them are unintentionally comical, but I know that you like the comical animes, Monster. Mitch feels more emotion toward Tobizaru than the culmination of everything I feel emotion towards in my entire life. It's true. Toby's face after the interview, cheeky chops. He was loving it way, way too much. I love Kinbozan, my Kazakh prince. He does kind of look like a prince, huh? Goose is fighting with JJ. I'm waiting for the moment that he tries to fire him from the show on my live stream, because that's a thing. I hear the second half is closer to DBZ, and I'm just getting into that. The second half of Dragon Ball. Hot take, Rikishi should yell and power up as part of the pre-battle ritual. Hey, I saw a picture of Hoshiryu wearing a Super Saiyan Vegeta shirt. I'm like, oh, that's too cool. Fits so well. Just like Vegeta, he's almost there. He almost takes it, and then he loses to Goku. Come on, Hoshiryu, don't be a Vegeta. JJ and Goose fighting in the chat. Never gets old. Watch Takamisakari matches, Hob. No idea who that is. He must be lower ranked guy. How embarrassing it is to be going to the JSA to show up to London with no Yokozuna and middling Ozeki. Maybe they can just leave Tobizaru in England and take his passport from him so he can't return. Are you kidding me? The Brits are going to love Tobizaru. He's going to be the most important guest in London. Oh no, Sunday Morning Sumo Show just appeared with an important announcement. I love DBZ. Not only is it nostalgic, but I would argue it is an objectively good show. Love DBZ. Just love it. JJ has been removed from Sunday Morning Sumo Show and replaced with an equally tall broom. Very sad. Very sad to hear. JJ, you can come work for us. You won't have to get up in the middle of the night. You can just show up at a decent hour and talk sumo with us on the live stream. We value you greatly here, JJ. How's that? Takami Sakari, aka Robocop. I've seen some of his matches. His Kimboshi against Ashashuri was classic. Okay, so this is an old school guy. That's not fair. Why do the Brits get to keep him? We came to the conclusion that just has just as much to say as JJ did. JJ's tired, okay? Sweep the leg. Yeah, sweep the leg, exactly. Also, classic. Love Karate Kid. So, DBZ comment real quick. DBZ was one of the few animes I watched in English dub versus subtitle, and I have to just give a shout out to the original American music from Bruce Faulkner. Nothing beats the Vegeta music that Bruce Faulkner has created. Just fantastic. If I didn't think I would get copyright struck, I would totally play the Bruce Faulkner soundtracks. I own them all. I'm crazy like that. Did you see the Musashi Maru's nephew and Hoshoryu's cousin were in My Sumo this time? I did see that, actually. Gonna be very interesting in the next couple years. The Brits can keep him as long as I don't have to see him ruin my day. He's gonna become the ambassador, and he's gonna show up to America. And then you're gonna see him more. Put Tobizaru in Fort Knox or Area 51. Tobizaru is gonna become a big star. You mark my words. After watching Dragon Ball, I want to try watching DBZ subbed. It was always hard for me that Goku was a girl voice, but that was the same thing with Kenshin and some others. You get used to it, I guess. I wasn't planning on it, but Dragon Ball is so good, it's making me want to. You gotta watch the classics, man. Just gotta. It defines all shonen anime from here on out. Although I just saw some scenes of Fist of the North Star. Whoa. What a ridiculous show. And I mean that in the best way. I feel like it somewhat influenced DBZ, or maybe DBZ influenced it. Tobizaru in a 10-gallon hat. Tobizaru has been on the outer rim of top 10 Rikishi for like 5 years now. Don't sleep on Tobizaru, even if you hate him. Because he is out to ruin your day. Okay, guys. It is late. 10:47. I'm going to go for now because you'll see me tomorrow. And tomorrow I will sing the plug. So, as a final farewell, please like, comment, and subscribe to 42 Opinions Sumo. Haven't seen Dragon Ball Super, but I've heard that they basically reanimate the movies. It's really good animation, really stepped up its game. It's decent. Heart-wise, like it's got some good stuff in it. But it's not as good as DBZ. But it's got some good stuff in it that's worth watching for sure. Monster's getting his dad to read JoJo, which is insane. He finally caught up with the first 6 parts. Oh man, I got fired when I went to get something to eat. Couldn't even take me to the office. That's what it's like at the Sunday Morning Sumo Show. We will offer you a job here at 42 Opinions, JJ. The working conditions are better. The hours are better. Think about it. We appreciate you. JoJo is awesome. Tobizaru for president. Tobizaru for president. And JoJo is bizarre, as the name implies. Part 7, the GOAT, I don't care. If that's the basic opinion, it's true. I can get talking about JoJo tomorrow night. Thank you, Wayne, for coming. Thank you all for coming. It's late. I must go. JJ, think about it. Big think. Hey, you know it's cool over here at 42 Opinions. There are a few universal truths, and that's one of them, Monster. JJ's contemplating a walk away. Yeah. Well, I will definitely see your commentary tonight, I hope. Unless you have a guest on tonight. But either way, good night, everybody. I'll think about JoJo, and I will chat with you tomorrow, and hopefully we will have a better idea of what's going on in the Yusho race. Good night.